Alright, everybody. Here is the final mission for the main story of Red Dead Redemption. It's not technically the ending, but it is the final main story mission that we have left to do. I just gotta say, before we start this, thank you all for sticking with me if you've been watching along this walkthrough. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and we've come such a long way. I do plan on doing Undead Nightmare at some point, just so you know. I'll probably go into some more detail into that later, but we're not exactly finished with Red Dead Redemption just yet. But this is the main story mission, so we're getting very, 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 very close to probably the final video, or a couple videos from the final one, a part of this walkthrough. So once again, thanks for sticking with me, and let's start finishing this game up, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Paul.
Need a hand with that?
No, sir, I got it.
Looks like you have. You know, you're real good with them tools.
Thank you, Paul.
You'll make this land real nice one day. Me and your mother will do our part. By the time your turn comes, hell, this could be the nicest farm in the county.
Maybe, Paul.
Just gotta learn to shoot straight or you'll get yourself eaten by some animal.
Very funny, Paul.
Thank you, son. Soon it'll be quail season. We should have some fun then.
Is there anything you don't like shooting, Paul?
Well, I ain't met the thing yet, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know. You can even put it in one of them books you read.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. The day John Marston stopped shooting.
Now, I ain't no literary man, but I don't think that'll sell. People like shooting in them things.
I think you may be right there, Paul.
So, you ever hear talk about them machines that can make a man fly?
Well, sure, Paul. Everybody knows about that. You know they're going to be bringing one of those machines around the country next year for a demonstration? One of them machines can turn men into angels.
One of them machines can turn men into angels.
John, come here. John, come here, quick. Take a look at that.
Jack, go into the house, lock all the doors. Whatever happens, don't come outside. You hear me? Whatever happens.
Okay.
Come here, son. Whatever happens, keep the doors locked and your mother inside. Promise me, son. Promise me.
Who is it, Paul?
It's just some old friends. Me and Uncle take care of it. Now you go inside and you keep the doors and the windows locked.
I hear you.
Then run!
Yeah, run, boy.
Well, old man, looks like things is about to get settled once and for all.
So it seems. Christ alive!
Yeah, that's right, everybody. They're coming after John, even after all that. Which is absolutely ridiculous. So now we gotta defend John and his family and his farm from the very people we were just helping. Alright. Gotta be careful with this.
I did what you wanted!
Get inside. I'll keep watch out here.
What are we gonna do now?
What's wrong? What's happened?
Stay inside, you hear? Like I said, there'll be more coming.
Paul, what do they want?
I don't know, son. Whatever it is, it ends here.
Oh, look how many there are. They're gonna kill us, aren't they?
Wonder if I actually got any. I don't know if I think I got only like maybe one or two.
Uncle, are you alright?
Damn it! I've been hit. Jesus. This ain't good. Try getting up from that.
That sure got a lot of them. Okay, that didn't really work out the way I wanted, but... Well, he ended up dying, so I guess it did. Note to self, don't get in their path when they're running at you. They'll trample you. Alright, let's go check up on Uncle. He wasn't looking too good.
Hang in there, Uncle! I'm gonna get you out of here safe!
Ain't time, John. I ain't gonna make it off this porch anyhow. You take Jack and Abby. Take them and don't worry about me. Just get him out of here.
No! Uncle, please! Oh my God! They killed him!
Come on, son! Ain't nothing we can do for him now! We're leaving the farm. I'll watch from the silo. You two go to the barn. Get the horses ready.
John!
I'll meet you there.
Come on!
Uncle didn't deserve to die like that.
There's more coming down the hill!
God damn it! Wide open here! You gonna pay for this?
Alright, I'm gonna use some snake oil to kind of refill on Deadeye.
Move until I got you
I think we
covered.
probably need it, to be honest.
Make a run for the barn! Let's go! Move! All right, you're covered!
Okay, we got him.
Now! Quick! Run for it! All right, you're covered! Now go! Go!
Almost got trampled again.
Said this was over! Now! Quick! Run for it! Don't ease up now! We gotta clear some space! Hey, come on. Now listen. Jack, darling, get on this horse. Get out of here. Go find a place to hide.
You're coming with us, Paul.
I'll catch up. You keep riding and don't look back. And don't be worried about me, you hear? Now get going.
You stay out of trouble, John.
Ain't no trouble, Abigail. Ain't no trouble. I love you.
I love you.
Now go! Get!
Did you hear that? Jack, we have to go back for Pa.
Let's go!
Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie where the coyotes wail and the wind blows free. And when I die, don't bury me 'neath the western sky on the lone prairie.
You have discovered the U.S. Marshal uniform. It makes the law treat you kindly in the United States. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are now not John Marston. We are Jack Marston. And that is not the end of the game just yet. We have one more mission to do, and it's to start in Blackwater. We'll get to it. First thing we're going to do is now... Like I was saying earlier, see, we play as Jack Marston, so now the model's a little bit different. We basically have all the same things John did in the game, except now we have access to getting the 6th scrap of the U.S. Army uniform. Now that's unlocked, so we're going to get that. Now this is 2. We have to complete all the U.S. gang hideouts in a single 24-hour period, and I believe that's within the game's time, not real time. We'll be doing that and getting that pretty soon as well. And then we'll also be getting the Beru uniform. You know what? I'm just not even going to say it. We're going to get basically the 100% completion uniform as well. That's basically what it is. Yeah, we're in the end game now. All the main story missions are done, but we have one more technically stranger mission, but it's more of a main mission personally for me to do. And basically finish up everything that is left in the game to get 100%. As you can probably tell, here is John's grave, and next to him is Abigail, and it seems now that Abigail has died, Jack can now go on his own, and he has his own mission to complete. But let's read their graves. John Marston, 1873 to 1911, loving husband and father. Blessed are the peacemakers. Abigail Marston, 1877 to 1914, always in our hearts. And then here's Uncle's. Uncle died 1911, impossible to forget. A sad ending to troubled, but honestly good people. They did not deserve that to end their life after John tried so hard to get his life and get his life back together and to redeem himself. And actually, we don't have Alexandria anymore. That was John's horse. And now, This is supposed to be the horse they give us, but we're going to go ahead and get the war horse again, which is supposed to be the best horse in the game. That's right, you go and rest. Thank you for your time, the little time that we had you. But we're going to get Old Boy 3 back. That's right, we're going to call him Old Boy 3 because Old Boy was in RDR 2. Old Boy 2 was the one we used at the beginning of the game, and now this is a new version of Old Boy, which is supposed to be Old Boy 3 to me. That's probably what I would not have called him before RDR 2 came out, but we do have the knowledge of RDR 2, so that's what I'm going to name him. But with Old Boy in our grasp, it is time to head towards Blackwater and get the U.S. Army uniform.
Come on, fast! Work your damn neck!
I will never forget when I first played this game, and I just was in utter I just couldn't believe it. I spent all this time playing as John, and I was so happy for him. It seemed like his life was getting back together, but I was like, why are we, like, is this the ending? Are we eventually just going to stop having ranch missions? Like, you know, like, is that going to be the end? And then that mission happened, and I just could not believe it. And the surprise that you get to play as Jack, his son, was... I wanted to play John more, obviously, but I wasn't against playing Jack. It made a lot of sense. And they kind of hint to it when they turn to the skinning camera when you're hunting with Jack. I was like, man, that's kind of weird. Seems kind of off. It seems like they're trying to say, like, we'll be playing as him or something. And then, lo and behold, we are. And here we are, the U.S. military scrap. $100. Luckily, we have the money. Everything transfers over. I think even, it isn't like RDR 2 where things don't transfer over. Literally everything. So the gold, even all the meat, even though it would go spoiled by this time, that doesn't really matter. They don't care. We basically get everything. So we don't have to worry about money or anything like that. I'm not going to get this guy's horse. It's too far away. We're kind of occupied. Plus, I want us to get into the U.S. Army outfit because that's the next one we will be wearing for what we're doing next. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. U.S. Army uniform menu entry updated and completed. So let's go change into that. We also have to wear it to be able to get the Explosive Rifle Challenge 5 done. So we're kind of hitting like 3 birds with 1 stone. We complete an outfit, and we're going to be actually completing the first part to the last Stranger/main mission. And when we're wearing this, we basically get treated like we're part of the U.S. military. So I guess it's sort of like the law in its own way. You failed to stop the crime, the robber got away. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I was a bit busy. I really don't have a real reason to wear this for the next... like, part of the Stranger mission we're doing next, other than just the fact that we don't get it until the epilogue. This is what they consider the epilogue. It's not Act 3 or Act 4 or anything like that. It's the epilogue, because it's kind of like the end game. You know, I don't give Jack enough credit. He looks a lot cooler than I used to think he looked as a kid. Maybe I just loved playing as John too much. I got too used to the scars and stuff, but I really like how Jack looks in a lot of the outfits. But yeah, this is the military uniform. Looking fancy. We should also have a new newspaper to read as well, so if we see that, we'll definitely get access to it.
Blackwater has become a hotbed of sodomy and fornication.
Notice that guy hasn't changed. And as you can see over here, we got a question mark. Right here. Remember my family. As you could probably presume what this is going to entail, but there's 3 parts to this, and this is the first.
Hello.
You need help?
Hello, sir. You work with the government? You one of them agents?
Sure, son. Why you ask?
Did you work with a man named Edgar Ross? I have something for him.
Edgar Ross. No, but well knew of him. fine man if he wanted results. Won himself a chest full of medals. I think he went and retired about a year ago. Last I heard, him and his wife moved out to a cabin on Lake Don Julio. Lucky guy, getting to take it easy. He's fighting crime in this dump, that's for sure.
Well, thank you for the information, mister.
Go find Edgar Ross's wife near Lake Don Julio. That's right, we are hunting down Edgar Ross, the man responsible for John's death. And I will gladly do that. There's only 2 more parts left, and now that we've started it, it should give us like a marker to find it. This is where we need to go. But before we actually do the next part of Remember My Family, one, we're going to actually try to get the U.S. Marshal outfit that just unlocked by clearing out all the gang hideouts in New Austin in under, or just America itself, in under 24 hours, while simultaneously also getting the explosive rifle challenge, the final one, so we can unlock that final outfit, and then we will practically be finishing this game once and for all. Alright everybody, we actually have one more newspaper to read, like I was alluding to earlier. Now that it's been a time skip, it's been 3 years, it's 1914, we actually have a new newspaper to read, the final one. So we're going to read that before we really get into trying to get this U.S. Marshal outfit. Blackwater, Ledger, and Sentinel. I think this is like literally only one. So just to be sure, because you know my luck. Yes, it is. It is the last one. So we'll go over here in a good spot to read it. And it should just be the last one that would be there for us. Okay, next. See the change? It's the Blackwater, Ledger, and Sentinel. It's been 3 years, so there's got to be... Oh, number 213. Wow. All right. Let's begin reading. Once again, if you don't want to sit through this and read this with me, then by all means, go ahead and pause when I'm over the articles if you just want to read at your own pace. If you want to skip ahead, I do not blame you. We're getting close to the kind of the end, so I understand if you want to get closer and closer to that. But this is the final newspaper, and I want to see what's kind of changed in the past 3 years since John's death, and now that we're playing as Jack Marston and stuff. So enough of that. Let's get to reading. Treasure found. A local man, Seth Byers, walked out of the mountains in tall trees and into Blackwater with a massive haul of gold and precious stones that he apparently spent years of his life pursuing. Mr. Byers, who was once a known associate of Moses Forth, denies any connection to the famous New Austin grave robbings by which Mr. Forth terrorized the dead in that region 3 years ago. Well, good for him. He finally got the treasure he definitely did awful things for. Landon Ricketts dead. Another piece of the Old West died last week with news that legendary gunman Landon Ricketts passed away quietly in his sleep. Mr. Ricketts, famous for his involvement in the Blackwater Massacre of 1899 and the deaths of the Butcher brothers in 1896, returned to the U.S. 3 years ago after living for many years in Mexico. It is rumored to have been writing. He is rumored to have been writing an autobiography at the time of his death, but the book was never made available for publishing amongst the legendary shooters of the West. Mr. Ricketts was considered to be one of the fastest draws, although he was also dogged by rumors that one of his most famous victories, when he shot and killed Johnny West, was won by shooting his opponent in the back. So even after all his time, there's still rumors that his fame wasn't really even earned. Well, at least he passed quietly in his sleep than an awful way to die, I guess. That was a good man. Europe at war. War has been declared across Europe following events that we still do not understand and no one will ever be able to quite explain. Germany is fighting France. Britain is fighting the Ottomans. Australia has wisely agreed to fight Austria. A nobleman was killed in Sarajevo, triggering events. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. For reasons that are still unclear, although no fighting has yet happened in Sarajevo nor anywhere nearby. I don't know if the J's silent. which is lucky as we are not quite sure where Sarajevo is or was. Italy has promised to switch sides. Russia has promised to cover itself in great glory. Poland has complained bitterly about its appalling neighbors and demanded independence. Belgium said join the club. Politicians and monarchs across Europe, most of whom are incestually related, are promising that the war will be over by Christmas. America has mercilessly stayed out of the conflict and declaring its neutrality in hopes for a lasting peace, decided to encourage peace by selling arms to both sides. That is just some straight satire right there. But yes, this is the time of World War I. It's kind of easy to forget about that since we're really in like the Western era, you know. It goes to show how some areas of the world are kind of not catching up with the rest, you know. So it's kind of cool to think about it in that way. Edgar Ross retires after a lifetime of government service. Agent Edgar Ross, a government official who spent the past 70 years stationed in Blackwater with federal jurisdiction over all of West Elizabeth, has retired. Among many other achievements, Mr. Ross is credited with eradicating native unrest in the region and eliminating some of the West's most wanted and dangerous criminals, including Bill Williamson, Dutch Vanderlyn, Javier Escuela, and John Marston, collectively known as the Dutch Vanderlyn's Gang. He was honored with medals for his standing service to his country, distinguished career, and exceptional valor in the field of duty. Mr. Ross and his loving wife, Emily, have moved out to a cabin by Lake Don Julio in Cholo Springs, New Austin, to enjoy their twilight years together. Yeah, he definitely deserves all those medals. What an awful man. But we will get our revenge, everybody. Shocking reports claims cocaine bad for health. Really? Despite widespread medicinal use as a local anesthetic, revitalizer, and moral booster for long hours at work, the American Journal of Pharmacists flew in the face of popular opinion this week and issued a report indicating derivatives of the coca plant to be bad for health. Many doctors and druggists scoffed at the report. This natural and magical alkaloid can supplement the place of food, make the silent eloquent, make the coward brave, and relieve suffering on many levels, said Dr. Lawrence Mareni. The report claimed that cocaine was the stuff of burglars, bohemians, night porters, low-class prostitutes, pimps, and lawyers. Just the lawyers at the end there. And said it can be blamed for increasing tax on white women. How about increasing tax on anybody? Governor Johns indicated, State Governor Nate Johns has been indicated on a plethora of criminal charges, including corruption, extortion, and moral indecency. He is linked to the disappearance of a series of politicians and labor unionists and under investigation for the forceful acquisition of farmlands on behalf of businesses in which his family holds a majority stake. He was also accused of sexually assaulting 7 female staff members and a battery of a prostitute, but these charges were dropped after officials deemed all the acts to be consensual. Even his election itself 3 years ago is shrouded in controversy after a large number of ballots were discovered showing the names of Indians, who are of course not permitted to vote under any circumstances. Mr. Johns is reported to be taking an extended vacation in Canada. Wow, we couldn't have seen this coming, have we? Anthropologist turned savage, New Haven in shock. Yale professor Harold McDougall has been expelled from the university following a drunken brawl with fellow academic Lionel Fortiscus? Mr. McDougall, who spent 6 months in West Elizabeth in 1911 studying the social and cultural behaviors of the native population, published a damning thesis last year on the impossibility of taming the savage mind. A Connecticut newspaper reports that McDougall attacked Mr. Fort, after an argument broke out over Polynesian cannibals at a garden party. After beating Mr. Fort with a Croquette mallet, the agitated professor fled to the roof of the Woozy Hall where he removed his clothes and threatened to jump if somebody did not bring him a plate of beef Wellington and a bottle of 94 claret. University officials stated that Mr. McDougall had become increasingly unhinged in recent months and was already on probation following the allegations that he attempted to pay a groundskeeper to remove the top of his skull so he could photograph a living brain. Yeah, I think that's more the cocaine, so maybe the other article actually has a point. An ad. President Reyes denies he is a tyrant despite massacre. Following last month's bloody massacre in a small town south of Mexico City in which thousands were shot by troops while peacefully protesting the government, President Reyes has spoke out to deny rumors that he is a tyrant who is renegade on promises to bring peace to Mexico. Mr. Reyes argued that although the path to democratic rule has been slower than he would have liked, progress was still being made. At the same time, he pointed out that the ornate new presidential palace was proof that Mexicans could work effectively to get things done together. Plans for a concert hall and other civic buildings remain in place. Mr. Reyes also denied reports of widespread starvation in the country and said he believed Mexico was on the point of entering a new golden age. Oh, Reyes, you sound exactly like Sanchez. Who would have thunk? Marshal Johnson of Armadillo retires. Legendary Armadillo Marshal Lee Johnson is retired at the remarkable age of 54. Mr. Johnson, who served as town marshal for 17 years, is credited with taking down some of New Austin's most notorious outlaws, including Walton's gang, the Two Crow Boys, Wung Lung Lester Riley, the Bollard Twins, and Wildcat Willie. Armadillo residents held a riotous leaving party in his honor at the town saloon, at which he arrested 3 men and reportedly was the last man standing at the end of the night. When asked about his plans for the future, he said that he would be moving as far away from Armadillo as humanly possible. And I do not blame you, man. I do not blame you. Alright, we're in the last section. Miscellany. We should not allow war to interfere with commerce. It is still acceptable to buy German Mauser pistols for sale. Elmer Purdy, gunsmith, Blackwater. Handsome man of means wishes to correspond with a modest, voluptuous young lady who has a mind of her own, hair color and length optional, impeccable skin, and grammar a necessity. Oh my god. When you're so down bad, you gotta put ads in the newspaper. Private poker room at Armadillo Saloon in Cholla Springs. Daily games free from the prying eyes of wives and mistresses. Oh my god. Your speaking voice does not need to proclaim your lack of education. English governess will be offering elocution lessons at the schoolhouse in Armadillo. Elocution lessons? I think that's how you say that. I imagine something to do with pronouncing. Jeb Blankenship married the love of his life, Lucy, today in a small and unconventional ceremony at Rathskeller Fort. No friends or family members were present. Bro, that's a horse, wasn't it? Oh, God. Irish male of unknown name came to his death by the accidental discharge of a gun in Thieves' Landing outhouse. Oh, Irish. A sad end. He gives strength to the weak. There is the cheat, ladies and gentlemen, in this newspaper and in the last newspaper. If you want to use that, I don't know what that does. Maybe it's like invincibility or something. I don't know. I'm actually thinking that if I do another playthrough of this, like low honor playthrough, then I'll probably do stuff with cheats just to have a little bit of extra fun with the game, you know, and to add some new spice to it. But yeah, there was the last newspaper, everybody. That's the last one we'll be reading. It's kind of sad that it's coming to this, but we have things to do. We have Edgar Ross to hunt, and we have some gang hideouts to clear. So next up on our list is we're going to get the U.S. Marshal outfit by finishing up those gang hideouts. So let's do that. First things first, what we're going to do is... let me think. We're going to go to Tumbleweed. Then we're going to do Gaptooth Breach, Solomon's Folly. I don't think this one's required for it, but we're going to do it anyway because it will eventually take us back to Armadillo. We'll run up the Twin Rocks and then finish off in Pike's Basin. So I will see you guys in Tumbleweed. Alright everyone, we're getting close to Tumbleweed. So how this is going to work is, one, we're going to kill somebody with the explosive rifle and finish up that challenge. All you have to do is wear the outfit and then use the explosive rifle, the US Army one, and then you should finish it up. So we'll do that, but then we're going to mostly focus on speed. The 24-hour period starts as soon as you, I think, start the gang hideout. So then you really just got to keep moving and moving. So we're going to basically just be speed running all these gang hideouts, honestly. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The explosive rifle is complete. I think I wasn't reading the explosive rifle thing, but I assumed it was giving us more ammo in our chest or something. That's my guess. I'm more focused on making sure I don't die and that we get this done, so. Okay, where's the other one at? Where's he at? There he is. I love the Evans repeater. It's honestly a great weapon.
You ever wonder how you get yourself into these situations?
Hey, Sid. How you been? We're gonna switch to... I'm gonna snipe some people.
I can do that in my sleep.
He must have been practicing, man. All that teenage angst after your father died, you know? Then again, he was John Marston's son, so he's probably just gonna be as good of a shooter as his father eventually. Okay, I think they're in the basement, so we're gonna head down there. Alright, and that should complete that one. From this point, we just gotta keep going and going to each and every one. I wouldn't recommend fast traveling, because I think it takes up some of the time that it would count, and it would be just faster to ride on horse if you just planned out when you were gonna do the gang hideout. So we're gonna now head towards Gap Tooth Breach. This one's probably gonna be a little bit one that takes most of our time. Like, yeah, we did that in, what, 2 minutes? I don't know if that, like, counts as gold or whatever. I know the social club has, like, rankings for that. Which, by the way, I might consider doing in a couple streams or so. I might do a stream and add on to this walkthroughs playlist or whatever of me trying to get gold for all the missions. I don't know. I haven't really decided on that. That might be something if I really don't know what else to stream on a day. That'll be something. But it'll be more of a chill session of me just trying to get gold for each of the missions, you know? And heck, I'm even considering doing a low honor playthrough. I'm really strongly considering it, but if I do that, it's probably going to be on hardcore that I've never done. And I'm probably going to be trying to play more as Jack, like do all the stranger missions as Jack instead of John, which I think that'd be a pretty interesting take on it. Man, I am a menace with this thing. Luckily, we don't have to talk to anybody for these gang hideouts. We can just get right to it. We're not going to bother going up to the second level and clearing out up there. We're just going to go right into the mine to save ourselves time. Oh, I love shotguns. I'm too good. I'm too good. It's just so OP that it tightens the spread. I'm sorry. It didn't kill him, but definitely helped us out some. Alright, we're gonna take cover. Not trying to have this run be ruined, you know? Okay, okay, I am taking too many risks. Now you're screwed. I have the high ground. Okay, we're gonna heal up first. Alright, we're good to go. Now we just gotta get the treasure and then leave. I will gladly take this. Thank you very much. $200, pretty good payday.
You won't be above snakes for long.
All right, and that should be the Gap-Tooth Breach. We're going to head towards Solomon Folly next. Hold on, I just remembered. There's also Fort Mercer. Huh. We'll probably just have to, like, go to Armadillo, Fort Mercer, and then come back up for Twin Rocks. Or I can go Twin Rocks, Pikes Basin, then end it on Fort Mercer. Yeah, that'll be fine. Or I guess what I can do is actually be a bit unorthodox, but it'll still work. We'll go to Fort Mercer now, then Solomon's Folly. I always feel like I have less time than it's actually taking me, but we're on track to get this. I'm not too worried.